Hello everyone, Dan Cruzel here with WIGaming.com bringing you a review for Max the Curse of Brotherhood. Max the Curse of Brotherhood was developed by Flashbulb Games, published as well as ported by Stage Clear Studios. It is on the Nintendo Switch, on Steam, on the PS4, on Xbox One, and finally the Xbox 360 if you're an old school guy like myself. The cost of Max is $14.99 and that is digital only. Max is a side-scrolling action puzzle game, and this game starts off with what feels like a Pixar animated short. Max arrives home only to witness his younger brother playing in his room, smashing all of his toys and making quite a bit of a ruckus, you could say. Max, fairly annoyed, seeks out a way to rid his brother. After searching ways to do this, Max comes across this chant. Without having a second thought, he reads it aloud. A portal is opened, and Max's brother Felix is taken to another world. What's funny about this is legitimately the name of the place, which is quite humorous. Most of the cutscenes within the game, I thought, have been very well done, with a few exceptions, and I won't name those off. But anyway, Mustachio is the antagonist, with a mission for eternal life. In order to do this, he needed a young soul to possess. This is where Felix does just that. Helpless and innocent, Felix calls out for his brother Max to come save him. As quickly as he can, Max proves his worth by obtaining knowledge about his enemies, overcoming many obstacles, and finally saving his brother from certain possession. See what I did there? I said possession, not death. In desperate search for his younger brother, Max comes across an old soul to aid him on his journey. Though Max has no weapons to use for protection, his trusty magic marker will suffice just as well. With a hint of cunning and common sense, you must manipulate compounds of the earth to help Max along. With a few abilities he is given, the puzzle-like elements are at a happy medium, not too hard, yet not so simple. What gives it that extra challenge, however, is the fact that you are given objectives to find either evil eyes set up by Mustachio and or hidden relic pieces throughout another world. With each passing section, Max is tested and sent forth to receive these new powers for his magic marker. The puzzle-like elements within Max the Curse of Brotherhood were fairly crafty. I didn't feel like I had encountered the same puzzle more than once. With each new ability Max was given, another puzzle element had been added. In which case was nice as far as feeling fresh and never had that thought of any section going sour. Through the 7 sections, I really enjoyed the atmosphere and the way each section varied from the last. Traveling through dense forests, scorching deserts, murky swamps, and treacherous lava pits, the developer did a very good job with how vibrant the game actually looked. I'm not a big 3D type of person, and especially side-scrolling 3D, but with the way the camera work was done, it separated 2D from 3D almost flawlessly. And it was something that swayed me into liking 3D work a little more. The biggest reason for me not liking 3D work, at least for the most part, is because I feel like character emotion is overdone or not done enough. And something about that, I don't know, just the facial expressions and the way a character moves is odd to me. But all in all, I felt like Max the Curse of Brotherhood was done very well. Aside from all of what this game does well, it does feel like any other side-scrolling puzzle game. It was unique in a lot of ways, but never truly swept me off my feet. Needless to say, the game in its entirety only took roughly about 6 hours to complete. Of course, going out of your way to gather the collectibles took a bit more time, and with that said, the Switch lasts about 3.5 hours on a single charge playing the game, so you'd be able to complete the game in roughly 2 charges. On to the pros and cons for Max the Curse of Brotherhood. The game was uniquely done, with a lot of time put into handcrafted sections. It capitalized on its core objective as a side-scrolling puzzle platformer. Each section was always fresh and never felt sour. The abilities you had worked towards were simple and easy to use, with one exception. Now, this goes right into my cons list. This was the biggest problem I had with the game, and what happened was there was a handful of times where I was pressured into using Max's abilities within a certain time limit. The easiest way I could overcome this was by using my Switch specifically in handheld mode. Why this is simply this. They had included the touchscreen function to swipe the screen to create obstacles, in which was a much quicker process in comparison to having used them via controls. With standard controls, you would have to press and hold ZR to bring out your magic marker, and then almost 80% of the time my marker would be on the complete opposite side of the screen, so I'd have to drag it over and then manipulate the ground or branches or vines, you name it, in hopes I would get it right the first time. Otherwise, the chance of dying and restarting at the checkpoint was very high. Of course, checkpoints were fairly forgiving, so I'll give them that, but as far as having to restart, if you don't attach a vine to a branch right away, like that's the main issue I had with the game. But other than that, that was the biggest problem I had with the game, really. Final verdict for Max the Curse of Brotherhood, valued at $14.99 on the Nintendo Switch, is worth it. It is easily a 7 out of 10, so that's an average score for an average game, I would say, and despite it being a 4-year-old game, it still holds up very well and feels like a solid addition to the Nintendo eShop. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this review for Max the Curse of Brotherhood. If you are at all interested in Max, I've included a couple of links to where you can buy this game down below. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at IIWI Gaming, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send us an email, iiwigame-reviews@gmail.com. Also, if you like what we do here, please subscribe, as we are working hard to deliver more content each and every week. Thanks again for listening.